He is using us, he's using my husband, and he is somehow using my quirky self to get it done. So we're excited. Title of the message, I find no fault in him. You may be seated. You can pop those scriptures up, but I'll just be reading through them. But question for y'all, what shapes character? Okay? We adults often tell children stuff like, too bad you don't want to do the dishes, or too bad you don't want to clean the baseboards or do your homework, or stop using my staircase as a skiing resort. It builds character to do these things, right? But what about spiritual character? How is that formed? Paul says in Galatians 4, my little children, of whom I travail in birth again, until Christ be formed in you. It's the character of Christ that needs to be formed within us. And that happens through submission to his spirit and also his word. Now, even more importantly today, that is because there's a pressure to conform to this world's politics like never before. And the thing about today's political correctness is it's more and more trying to exclude tolerance for biblical truth. Now, the thing about that is, first of all, suggesting that anything could possibly be sin is seen as criminal at this point. It's becoming that way. So how do we navigate through this? That's the question. We need conviction that brings courage to live boldly in the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, long-suffering, goodness, gentleness, faith, meekness, and self-control. And this is a list that Paul ends with a very powerful statement when he says, against such there is no law. I believe that's any law, the law of man, any law. So why does the fruit of the Spirit work so efficiently in the context of political disputation? I will tell you why. It's because it's impossible to outlaw things like love or joy or peace. That's one of the reasons that the slogan "Love Wins" is so incredibly cunning, and that's in the gay pride community, or the gay pride movement. The definition has been twisted. It's not love, it's lust and pride, but it's been twisted because no government can legislate against love. So how does the Spirit help us to navigate twisted politics? Long-suffering, let's just get right into it. Long-suffering. This is ultimately about preparing our minds to suffer through ridicule and mockery, because that is what's coming. The Bible says to consider him who endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest you be weary in your own mind and so faint. Jesus endured egregious mockery during his trial, and he was the Prince of Peace. That's number 2. We must follow peace with all men, and to do that, we need, number 3, gentleness. The Bible says a soft answer turns away wrath, but it also says a soft tongue breaks the bones. It's not literal bones, that sounds violent. It's actually the structure or the schematics, if you will, behind any given systemic mindset. It takes self-control to do this. It takes gentleness. Self-control, he that rules his own spirit is better than he that takes a city. Self-control allows us to walk in meekness. Jesus said, I am meek and lowly of heart. He also said, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. It's no wonder that ruling our own spirit is better than taking a city, because you can inherit the whole earth. This shows up when we yield to others. King Solomon said that yielding pacifies great offenses. Number 6 is goodness. Let others see the good character of Christ in you. The Bible says in Romans chapter 12, verse 21, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. It takes strength to overcome, and that strength comes from the joy of the Lord. Nehemiah said it's our strength. Joy in what? Knowing that he who handles a matter wisely shall find good. I believe that includes a political matter. That knowledge comes through number 8, which is faith. The word confidence comes from the words con, meaning with, and fide, meaning faith. If you did something confidently, you did it with faith. All right? Faith that works by love, perfecting God's love within us towards people. Perfect love casts out all fear. And fear, quite frankly, is offensive, but love never fails. Jesus showed us this power through non-resistance when he was mocked by Pilate. And by the time Jesus was done with his meeting, Pilate basically turns to the crowd of people and he says, why have y'all brought this man to me? I find no fault in him. Of course he didn't. He was perfect. It was true in Rome way back then, and it's true in America today. There is no law against the fruit of the Spirit. That is the key to overcoming twisted politics. Thank you for taking your time to reflect on this. May you be strengthened, encouraged, and emboldened to walk in the character of the Lord. Thank you. Be blessed.